Welcome to the Four Quarters Podcast. So you're not just watching from the sidelines, get in the game. Like the videos, comment your takes, share with your squad.
More importantly, subscribe to the Four Quarters Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, and X for all the latest basketball and sports news.
Welcome to a very special edition of Four Quarters Podcast. We have the great Marcus Johnson here with us today. Five-time NBA All-Star, 3 All-NBA teams, NBA Comeback Player of the Year, number 8 retired by the Bucks, NCAA champion 1975. The National College Player of the Year, right?
Okay, yeah.
Keep it coming.
Well, you see me. I had to adjust my camera so you could see the window.
There we go.
I had to slide. I'm old school. I wasn't realizing it wasn't framed properly.
Yeah,
so I had to make sure we got the win. We got the Emmy Awards. We got the Win Awards. We got my old Adidas poster that Michael Jordan had in this room back in North Carolina. What goes up goes in. So
awesome.
So I had to make sure I had it all represented in the background, man. So yeah,
I love it.
So let's get into it because you mentioned Michael Jordan. So, you know, I'm 31 years old, but I grew up. I used to watch a lot of hardwood classics, and for some reason, your Bucks teams, maybe it was those great playoff series with Philly and stuff, but those your Bucks teams are always on hardwood classics. So I kind of always will have you and Julius is like those modern forwards that were handling and playing at the top, driving with the ball. Like, do you recognize yourself as that? Because you were that. Like, and do you see the evolution kind of where it went?
Well, I mean, what's interesting, I was talking about Michael Jordan, and in his documentary, what was the name of the really good, the last one?
The Bulls on
Last Dance.
Yeah, Last Dance.
The Last Dance. Yeah. I was gonna say, come fly with me, but that was way back in the day. The Last Dance, right?
Right.
And so there's a real quick blurb in there that my son Chris alerted me to, even before the episode came out, episode 3 or 4, somewhere in there. But anyway, Michael talks about his favorite team is the Lakers, and his favorite player is Marcus Johnson, right?
Oh, wow.
And so this is like actually in the doc, right there. He's got his North Carolina stuff on. He's in college, and so there's this famous photo of him in his dorm room in North Carolina where he's got CBS Sports banner in there. He's got an umbrella on, inside acting silly, but there's a poster of me. What goes up goes in, right there. This poster right here. What goes up goes in, over my shoulder. He's got that in the background of his dorm room. So the point is that we all growing up had people that we idolized, that we tried to emulate some way, shape, form, or fashion. For me, it was Elgin Baylor as a Los Angeles Laker fan. My parents, school teachers, but they put together, guys, enough money to get us season tickets as a family to about 10 Laker games in 1966 at the Sports Arena.
Okay.
And so that was, I'm 10 years old, watching Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Rudy LaRusso, Gene Wiley, all these greats playing against the Celtics and all these great teams coming in. And so Michael, I believe, probably looked at my game at my size, 6'6", 6'7", similar size as he was, and kind of just fundamentally sound and not a whole lot of whole lot of flair in terms of trying to do a lot of flashy stuff, but just been really efficient was the main key to but get to it.
Yeah.
And so when I think about myself and Dr. J and Larry Bird and the great forwards of that era, I mean, it was a golden age of small forwards. I mean, it was James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins, Bernard King, and I could just going down the list of just great small forwards. You had to go against Walter Davis, go against every single night. But yeah, I feel like came in the league as a rookie, averaging almost 20 and 10, over 10 rebounds a game, closer to 11, I think. But like 19.6, And so, I was doing some work early on, and but I owe a lot to my dad, Jeff, who was a high school coach in Louisiana, who just infused me with efficient, fundamental footwork basketball.
Yeah.
A quick story: when I was playing at Jesse Owens Park, Sportsman's Park in South Central, back in the day, but Jesse Owens Park on Century and Western.
Yep.
And so there was a group of older guys that I didn't even know it at the time, but one of the guys is a former Crenshaw alum, Dr. Alfonso Brigham, who used to do free physicals for the Crenshaw High basketball team when my son Chris was there in the 90s and all that. But he told me when he was there, he was 4 years older. You know, he was one of my favorites to watch at the park, along with Reggie Morris Sr., Reggie Morris Jr.'s dad. He was another guy that played at that park at that time. And so those are guys who I would watch. But he told me they would come early to watch me. You know, plays. Wow. You had the black uniforms on. You guys with the Raiders. You were like 8 years old. You was out there just serving. And so just to have that kind of stuff come to the forefront is really really special. So I guess I've been doing it for a long time. Yes,
absolutely. So segue to that too, because we wanted to ask you, who were like some of the best guys out of LA that didn't make it? Like who you would have said like, man, like that guy was just as good as me, or was just as good as Larry, or some of those guys. But because LA, and do you consider LA a mecca for basketball? Like,
without question, LA's a mecca.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got into high school, this guy was leaving, but he had led the city in scoring. Paul Caldwell, he's a 6'4" forward.
Yeah.
At Dorsey High School, averaged 29.9 points a game.
Man.
He had the most unorthodox jumper you'd ever seen in your life. He would actually put the ball on his palm with his hands spread and would spin it off his palm.
Oh,
so you
wow.
shoot like that. And so you get that great rotation because he's spinning the ball off his palm, and that was just taboo. Everybody talked about fingertips and all that, keeping it away from your palm. He shot that bad boy off his palm, never missed. Now, what happened to Paul? He wound up going to first team All City, yada yada yada, going to LACC junior college, and the first thing the coaches did, you got to change that jump shot. You got to go conventional, get it on your palms. And so he was just never the same player after that because he had that thing. But he was just he was shooting that thing. 30 points a game.
LACC broke his jumper.
Man, the coach had to go in and fix his jumper. Yeah. And it reminds me of John Wooden and Jamal Wilkes. When Jamal Wilkes came into UCLA with that slingshot. When the assistant coach was like, "Coach, we got to fix that." And Coach Wooden's like, "Hey, he never misses from 15 feet. We ain't fixing nothing.
It doesn't matter how it looks as long as it goes in, right?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it." And so, so Paul Caldwell was one. It was just a lot of great talent. Coming out of LA at the time, man, just guys that I played against. David Airplane Payne was a guy I played against in the summer leagues. Not sure where he was from originally, but by the time I got to the Joe Weekly Run Shoot Dunk League at Trade Tech, he jumped almost over me one time and dunked the ball when I was like 15 years old, and he was like 22, 23. He was a man and could jump out the gym. But I got him back in the Crenshaw League in the playoffs like 5 or 6 years later when he was about 29. I was about 22, 23, first team All Pro, and I got him back, threw him out the way, bam, threw it down. So guys that never made it, but Paul Caldwell probably comes to mind as one of the most. I mean, there was Wirtz was this Jason Wirtz. Dorsey High School was a guard that averaged about 30 a game, and he would quote scriptures and all that, kind of a little bit. Just a little bit different, wired differently. But he would dominate in terms of just the park leagues and then the summertime basketball, but never really made it. Walt Armstrong is another guy, a local Crenshaw legend that dominated guys in the summer pro league for years, but just never got the opportunity. John Staggers out of Crenshaw High School. He was City Player of the Year. Averaged about 27 a game coming off the bench because he would always get in trouble. Wow. He's either doing whatever in Crenshaw. So Coach West didn't start him his senior year, brought him off the bench. He was City Player of the Year coming off the bench, averaging about 27 a game.
John Staggers.
Staggers had one of the coldest baseline offensive games I've ever seen in my life. He got down low, jab. He was like that Carmelo, but a little closer in. But closer in, kind of jab, shot fake it by you, pull up, but he would never miss doing what he was doing. So it's been like you guys know, and especially you, Brandon, at Rogers Park, you see these guys coming through all the time who are just exceptional ball players that for one reason or another just never had the opportunity. Or had the opportunity and squandered it, whatever. But we've seen a lot of exceptional players coming through.
Absolutely. John Staggers winning Player of the Year on staggered minutes. That's
crazy. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Do that, but that gives you an idea. 27 a game, doing it like that. Yeah.
So who would you? Let's take it to today. Who do you see today that you would say, man, that looks like me, or like I would play like that today in this league?
It's funny you say that because and Alex English was the first one to make this comparison. A couple of guys, but I think Kenny Smith may have been the first one to make this comparison. Jason Tatum,
okay,
6'8", just kind of straight up, kind of separated. Really efficient with his separation moves. Obviously much better range because we didn't put a lot of stock into shooting 3-pointers. It's funny. I was walking through the Milwaukee Bucks practice facility last season, and so Giannis was in there shooting around with a couple of guys working on his jumper. So he called me over. He's like, old school. I looked up your stats. You are not a very good 3-point shooter. I looked up your stats. You were not very good shooting the 3-point shot. What's up? I said, look, man, back then it was all about getting closer to the basket, not getting further away.
And
my 3-point, and my 3-point attempts, were all heaves, last second, minute, last, of the quarter of the half. Just getting up, probably 80% of them were like that.
Wow.
And it was because the 3-point shot didn't come into play until 1979. It wasn't until about 3 or 4 years later that teams were shooting as many as 100 or 200 a game, and now guys shoot that, over 5 or 6 game stretch. So
and Giannis still don't shoot them.
Well, it's funny. He can shoot them.
Right.
He just got that. He got that issue up here, man. Where I keep thinking he's going to be able to unlock it, but he kind of got away from shooting them last year. But he should be able to shoot 34, 35%. But for whatever reason, I just think he's got that stigma that he's not a 3-point shooter, and once he smells. Well, once he smells the popcorn and sees the zebras and 15,000 people in the stands, it becomes a different shot for him, and that's kind of the way it is for some people.
Wow. So how hands on are you with Giannis within the Bucks organization? Are they, because there's similarities there, in the size and in the game a little bit, the athleticism. So are you hands on? Like, as I know you color commentate. But are you also talking to Giannis a lot? Are you giving him tips, pointers, things like that?
I was more so in his earlier years. When I got there, he was 20 years old, 12 years ago, whatever it was, my first season working with the Bucks. He was just coming off a year where he averaged about 12 or 13 points a game. We didn't know what we had. We didn't know whether he was going to be. I thought initially his ceiling might be, if you have a 20-point per game season, that'd be a great year for him. Make 2 or 3 All-Star teams, averaging 18 and 8 or 9 rebounds, and kind of sneak into the All-Star game on the coach's boat. That'd be a great career for him. But man, his work ethic is second to none, and especially on his body and the way he goes at it in the weight room. I've seen him in there constantly, seen him what he does on the floor in terms of always being in the gym. And so, more so the earlier part of his career, I was able to kind of, tell him some of the things that I felt would help his game, jump hooks and things like that, make his game a little bit easier. But, after he won 2 MVPs in a row and started doing what he was doing, man, 10 straight All-Star game appearance or whatever, it was like not a whole lot I could tell him after that.
Right.
But a funny story, he had just signed an extension about my second or third year with the team. He signed an extension, and so he's making probably $20 million or so a year. And so we're down in New Orleans, and it's during Mardi Gras. And so it's crazy. The streets are packed. The hotel, the Ritz-Carlton in New Orleans, is right across the street from a CVS. So I'm going into CVS, get some late-night snacks, cookies or whatever. So Giannis comes through, too, by himself. And so we're sitting there, we're talking for a minute, kind of shy, looking, getting our cookies, getting our stuff, cookies and milk and all that. And so as I'm checking out, I'm ahead of him. So I said, let me wait on him, and we can walk back to the hotel together. So he gets done doing his thing. And then as he approaches me, I was like, you ready to go to the hotel? He's like, no, I'm going to walk the streets for a while. And so he just, Canal Street, he just, worth $100 million. He just took off. He just took off walking down Canal Street in the middle of Mardi Gras. And initially the thought occurred to me, well, maybe I should call our security guy, Greg Jones, and just let him know Giannis is out here walking, Canal Street by himself.
Shout out Greg Jones. Shout out Greg
Jones. Walking Canal Street by himself. But then I realized that he was selling trinkets on the streets of Athens at 3 a.m. to make ends meet for his family. He had the Nastas and his brother. So I'm like, he knows the streets probably better than I do. So I left it alone, man. But that was, but that's Giannis, man.
Yeah.
Man of the people.
Yep.
You had something, Max?
Oh yeah, I was gonna just touch on the Bucks a little bit. Probably a little bit disappointing season for them, right? What do you think they need to do to take themselves back to the promised land and get back to the NBA Finals?
Well, I mean, Yaxel Lindenberg would he would help. Yaxel would help if he's available at 10. But got to get somebody else, man. You got to get another all-star to put alongside Giannis. I mean, the Dame experiment didn't work. We thought on paper that it'd be a good fit, the pick and roll game, all that. And to Dame's credit, if you look at his numbers, and I pointed this out to Dame, he wasn't even aware of this. I was like, Dave, you and LeBron, the oldest dudes in NBA history to average 25 a game. I mean, at 35, 36 years old. And I think Dame might have taken over the lead the next year. But so he actually did his part. Yeah. But just in terms of that kind of the pieces fitting together, and then health-wise, both are were either Giannis was hurt with his soleus lower leg muscle, Dame with the Achilles and everything he went through. So we could never field a really healthy team. But when we were at our best, we had the good, solid veteran core with Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday. That acquisition was major. It's funny. Jim Paschke, who's our former play-by-play guy, had been with the Bucks 30 years or 39 years or whatever. But he was asking me this before he picked up Drew. And Drew used to kill us when he was in New Orleans. I mean, he would just whoever was guarding Michael Carter Williams didn't matter. He would just he was just beasting them and averaging 24 points a game for New Orleans at that time. So Jim Paschke was like, well, what does this team need to get to the next level? I was like, Drew Holiday. I said, we get Drew Holiday. I said, we get a guy like Drew Holiday. I said, Drew Holiday. We get Drew. It's all over. A guy like Drew that can lock you up.
UCLA guy.
Another LA guy, right?
One year, so I didn't really get to know him at UCLA because he was one and done. He was one and done, all-star his second or third year with the Sixers, that one great all-star season. Yeah. And so he hit the ground running. I thought it was a mistake for him to leave. He's averaged like 8 points a game playing behind Darren Collison, I think Jordan Farmar or somebody maybe. And so I thought it was a mistake. I was like, this guy needs another couple of years and he could be a really, really legit superstar. But it turns out he made a great decision. But so Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, but Chris Middleton emerged as a 3-time All-Star, but close to 20 points a game, 18, 19, 20 points a game. And so that's what we need. We need that second All-Star caliber wing, big wing type of player. I don't know who's available, and I wouldn't go for the older dudes, the Jimmy Butlers or the Paul Georges, maybe a little bit past that point. I think where where they could be as effective as a younger kind of diamond in the rough, kind of kind of a Kuminga type. I won't say it's not Jonathan Kuminga maybe, but a Kuminga type young dude that just needs to be in the right situation and around someone like Giannis.
Maybe his teammate Jalen Johnson.
Man, look, so Jalen Johnson played at Nicolay High School in Milwaukee. He's a Milwaukee dude.
Oh wow!
So, yeah. So I mean, so we all that, but that's at the top of the wish list. But that's probably not realistic because maybe 2 years ago, he could have finagled a deal like that with Atlanta.
The secret was out that he's
before the secret is out. The secret
22, 9, and 8.
The secret is out. The secret is out right now, and the Hawks, it would be stupid to let him go. If I'm the Hawks, I'm like, okay, I want Giannis. You guys want him, but give me him. That'd be the only way I get rid of Jalen Johnson right now.
So, do you think Giannis is leaving? I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but do you think?
I don't know. It's. I'm be truthful. Nobody really knows. I mean, he is so good at just speaking like this confusing kind of double speak language out. I love the city. My mother was born here, blah, 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 but I need to compete for a championship. Look, I get it. Giannis is 31, the past 30. He's over past that point of being 30 years old. So now he's on the backside starting of his career. Yeah. And he wants to maximize these years as much as he can. He understands for him to be thought of as an all-time great. See, now even when they start talking about all-time great power forwards, his name is being dismissed a little bit. And he understands that for him to be considered in that rank and file of all-time great top 2 or 3 in the history, Tim Duncan's, and even though I think Tim Duncan was more of a center when he played, but the Tim Duncans, the Karl Malones, guys like that, and even though Karl Malone never won a championship, AD,
No,
but Giannis, I think,
KG, Kevin Garnett. Kevin
oh,
Garnett.
KG, okay,
Yeah, I didn't say AD. Hey,
you
hey, you want to turn up on AD? He's like, AD,
where'd that come from? AD, even though he won one down in the bubble,
right.
but Giannis needs that second one, I think, to really validate to himself and to the basketball world that he might be one of the greatest in the history of the game in terms of just what he's been able to do. And you look at his numbers, 30 points and 12, 13 rebounds a game, 60 plus field goal percentage, efficient. You know what he's going to do. Points in the paint leader every single year up there. You know exactly what he's going to do, but you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And so just for a guy to have that kind of impact. Now, getting older, he's got to, I keep saying this every year about him, he needs to diversify, get that jumper, get that mid-range game down a little bit more consistently, but he's been able to just kind of dominate at will, but you could see his body now, the lower body tissue injuries, the soleus and all that stuff is starting to crop up a little more. So, and I think a lot of it's just the pounding that he's taken and then the way he goes at it and how hard he plays.
Yeah. I mean, you brought it up. I know you sent me a great article about that, about where the injuries are going in the NBA. So
you've seen a lot more of those, right?
Yeah,
a lot more of those lower body injuries,
lower body tissue injuries. So do you think there's too much threes? There's too much pace and space today. There's too much emphasis on getting the three, playing perimeter, step back,
ISO ball.
Yeah. Well, I think it's too much. I mean, these guys, because I've been around it for the last 12 years and see how hard they work on their skill packages. And the first time I saw something that really alerted me that the game was about to hit a whole nother plateau was the Bucks were playing Utah. This is probably 7 or 8 years ago. Jordan Clarkson was playing for the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
And Giannis was guarding Jordan Clarkson. I think it was in Milwaukee, but he was about 35, 38 feet away from the basket, the right break line. And then Clarkson came down on Giannis and went like tween, behind tween, step back three and hit it. And I was just like, wait a minute. I've never seen, I've seen pull-up threes from that distance, but for a guy, or catch and shoot threes, but for a guy to just pop, step back, all your momentum going away from the basket. And that's where a lot of these injuries are occurring. Now, we talked about it, Brandon. I think one of the things that the league should look at, they came up with this phantom freaking gather step. Giannis was already taking 3 steps. Then they gave him like a gather. Now he's taking a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2. Or you think of a James Harden or Steph Curry, but mainly James, who will take it, sidestep one time, and then sidestep on the gather a second time. Yeah. So they're putting a lot of stress to me on the lower part of their body. I think if they just go back to, disallowing the gather step and then not giving, they don't need an advantage as it is because of their athleticism, their length, all the stuff that they can do already. Yeah. I just think the gather step just makes it even. I mean, they're taking 3, 4 steps sometimes, and they're chalking up that extra step or two as a gather step. But to me, that sets up the lower body for all that tension, like Giannis's Euro. Yeah, he's power, full speed coming through. He's gained 30 pounds in the last 7 or 8 years. So now all that torque on the lower body, on the soleus, on the calf muscles, all that stuff has got to give at some point, and he's had issues with that.
And especially at that length.
Length.
It's putting so much stress on those muscles.
Huge limbs. Like, I think of Kyrie Irving with all the soft as I gather step and the soft tissue injury, because Kyrie, I mean, he's throwing the ball out. It's like the sham guy. You're throwing the ball out and you're skipping already, like you're already going before it's like it's it's hard to guard, but it's not a natural thing. Right. Yeah.
Right, and something's got to give. And that article that you referenced in the Ringer by Ken Goldsberry, I think is the writer's name. But he talked about Ron Adams, the assistant coach for Golden State, talking about UCLA back in the wooden days, how everything was off of 2 feet. Yeah, and now the game is at a point where now everything is off of not everything, but a lot of the moves, a lot of the finishes off of one leg more so than the other. Now, back when I played, I mean, Dr. J off of one leg. had some good hops off of one leg. I mean, there were a handful of guys that could really get it done off of one leg, but now everybody, that's just the skill development has reached that level where everything is taught to kind of finish either off a Euro or pro hop or whatever it is, that gather and take another step. And the other thing is, the other thing is really unnatural. That springs to mind since we're talking about it. It's a deceleration move. To come in at full speed, all of a sudden you put on the brakes and you just kind of stop. Something's got to give, and you keep doing that over. So and able to perfect that, just think how much you have to practice that. You know what I mean? And when you're working out with the trainer, whomever, you gotta work on that decel, come hard, stop, decel, and that kind of stopping on a dime abruptly, to me, is got to put a lot of tension and a lot of pressure on those tendons down in the lower body. So it's a lot of stuff going on with today's game. It's beautiful to watch. I think we're seeing some of the negative byproduct because the body can only take so much. The body's built to only take so much, and these guys, I think, have pushed it to the limit.
Yeah. Especially all these verticals going up and everything is crazy.
Yeah.
You have a finals pick? The Knicks made it in on one side. And we're waiting on the Spurs OKC, which OKC just went up 3-2 tonight.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to win that series and face the Knicks in the finals, and who's going to win the finals?
Well, I mean, God. So they go back to OKC. Seems like that they've got that experience. They've been there last year. It seems like the Spurs are on their way up, and this will be kind of part of their learning curve. To go against this OKC team, like historically, like the Pistons had to go through the Celtics and it's always that team in front of you.
The Bulls to the Pistons.
The Bulls and the Pistons. Great point. Bulls and the Pistons, and so but. Wemby did not have a good game in the game that they played most recently. And to give OKC a lot of credit, they put bodies on him. They made him play in a crowd. Not only made him play in a crowd, but there was a physical crowd. Then they've got Hartenstein. They've got Chet, just kind of the two bigs is always up there being able to get eye level with him as much as anybody can at his size. So, so I think it's going to be OKC. And I just think, man, I would just have to believe, even though the Knicks playing great, I thought Mike Brown, I didn't know if that was a good move for them or not. Mike Brown, well, I like him, but I don't love him. You know what I mean? He's a good coach. He's a really good coach, solid coach. But is he that guy but he did a masterful job with the Knicks. He had a chance to pull Mikal Bridges out of the lineup after he struggled against Atlanta and left and roll with it. And then all of a sudden that thing just turned and they got on this roll. I think they won like 11 straight playoff games in a row or something. And they're playing their best basketball. And then Jalen Brunson, I mean, we were talking maybe a year, 2 years ago. Was it last year? He was too small. You can't win a championship with a guy that size. And man, the way he's eating up the Cleveland Cavaliers and Harden and every defender they put in front of him, the shots that he's making. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just he's a testament to a guy that's put in the work to make difficult shots at his size, to understand angles and how to lean away and fade away and create separation.
Absolutely. And to our previous point with injuries, this is a guy who plays off 2 feet a lot, right? He plays off 2 feet, gets a base. He has a little bit of a post game, right? So he's not relying on going straight downhill all the time. Sometimes I'll turn my back, get to a little post action, right, off 2 feet, and he's available. He's a bit of a Iron Man, if you will, very durable. So it's interesting.
And has that innate ability that the great ones have to step up under pressure, knock down big shots under duress, and to get on a roll. He's one of these guys that you could just ride for a 4 or 5 minute stretch. When he gets on one of them rolls, man, he is virtually unstoppable. So, and the other guys are playing great basketball defensively. I mean, I've always loved OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, what he brings to the table, and Josh Hart. I mean, I thought the Lakers made a mistake, kind of letting him go along with Alex Caruso. All these dogs out there that the Lakers had back in the day are showing just how valuable pieces that they are and how much you need guys like that. Those are glue guys, and those guys are playing great basketball.
Who was a guy that you played with or maybe against that was like a Alex Caruso of your time, a Josh Hart that you kind of like, man, I hate playing against this guy, but I need him on my team?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah, man, that's a good one. Let me see. What a tough. See, when I played against the Sixers, and so they had guys like Caldwell Jones, who was a 7-footer, but he was long, he was athletic, he was mobile.
They say he was mean. They say was he mean?
He wasn't that. He was quiet.
Okay.
Not the one interesting tidbit with him. He had Major, Charles, Will, I think 5 Jones boys all played the NBA. 5 brothers, Caldwell Jones, and 5 of his brothers, Will Jones, Major Jones, Charles Jones. You know, and I think it was 5. I think it was 5 of them that all played in the NBA. So that gives you an idea kind of the athletic talent they had in the family. Small town, I think in Mississippi, Alabama, where he grew up. But 5 brothers all played in the NBA. So he was one guy like that, man. But there was just so many back in the day. Everybody asked me who was the toughest guy for me to play against, and I don't call out the big names, but there's one guy that played at Golden State in 1979, second team all defense, E.C. Coleman, about 6'7", 6'8", about 230, strong and quick. So guys who were strong and quick, Kermit Washington, strong and quick, and could stay in front of me, but also I couldn't just overpower. You know, you put a Michael Cooper or somebody like that on me, like they too light in the water. Too little. Take it down to the post, like come on, Coop. Let's go, man. Let's go down here. Right? You know, but those guys who had the strength to kind of keep me from taking advantage of them down in the post, but also quick enough to stay in front of me. You know, I used to love to go against Larry Bird. I mean, Larry Bird could stand in front of me. Doc kind of rested on defense, so he wasn't. When I played against the Sixers, I had to guard Doc and I had to try and score against Bobby Jones. And Bobby Jones was like Hall of Famer because of his defense. So that was like working overtime. But it was fun, man. We had a good time doing it.
The Secretary of Defense, Bobby Jones.
Yeah. Bobby Jones was a great player. He could jump out the gym. White boy that would dunk on you. Right-handed player, but ambidextrous. So he could dunk left as well as he could with his right. So, but a lot of great talent back in those days, man.
Yeah. Was Julius too light for you?
Julius was wiry, strong. He's probably 6'6", 6'7", about 210, 215.
Some of the, maybe. The reason I ask is some of the tape looks like you gave him a lot of good work.
Give him a lot of buckets.
I did. I did, but by the time I got to Julius, see, Julius was born 1950. I'm 56. I'm 6 years older. I'm 6 years younger. So when I was 23, 24, he's 30. You know, and so I was a little bit younger, a little bit more spry, and, you know, but you know, he still would make the great plays when the great plays were needed. And that's the thing about it. We never beat him in a playoff series. We lost in a 7-game series. I think I had 36 in game 7 and got the CBS player of the game in a loss, in a loss. But they beat us by 1 point. I had a defensive adjustment that I still beat myself up today because the coach called for one thing, but I saw something out there that I tried to get my teammate Brian Winters to make the adjustment. Well, no, the coach wants us to play it this way. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's play the way the coach say play. And we wind up losing. We should have stayed instead of switched. You know, it's just little stuff like that sticks out to me. But no, it was a great time to be a basketball player, and with Julius. See, he was a guy that I first got turned on to in 1972 when I was at Crenshaw. He was playing for the Virginia Squires. I had a teammate, Terry O'Neill, who's from Massachusetts. He told me, hey, Cap, he called me Cap because I was captain of the team at Crenshaw. Are you hip to Doc? I was like, Doc, what do you mean? Have you seen Doc? I was like, what are you talking about? Dr. J, they played for Virginia. Right. Turn on the ABA game of the week. 10 o'clock Saturday mornings on Channel 2 CBS, and check him out. That Saturday, I watched this dude, man, and he was doing some things with the ball and dunking on people when he was young. So this is like when he was all of 22 years old. He was out there.
The Fro was out there.
Yeah. But man, he was doing something. Guy, I'm telling you, he was unguardable, and he became. It was just an instant fascination with him. Like people were fascinated with Michael Jordan. My generation, it was all about Dr. J. And then he had this kind of cool thing where he would, you wouldn't get all excited and hyped up. He'd dunk on you, and just kind of run back and look at you like, so a whole lot more of that where that came from. And so that's the guy that we try to emulate. So going against him was always tough because we played together. In Willie Knowles, great LA player. from San Pedro High School, played at UCLA, played with the Boston Celtics, part of that first team to start all 5 blacks for the Celtics in around 1966.
Wow.
Bill Russell, Casey.
Man.
Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, Sat Sanders, and Willie Knowles, all black starting 5, first time in NBA history.
Wow.
But Willie Knowles had a charity game, and so I played against Julius and Willie's. Willie was my agent, and he was my business advisor, just a really good friend. But he had a charity game that we played a game in LA and then 2 games over in Hawaii. So I got a chance to play against Julius in those games. I gave him 30. He gave me like 45. 50. I talk about a big shot in Hilo, Hawaii, and last second shot. He shoots a hook shot from half court at the buzzer. That's the net to win the game. That's the kind of dude he was. But I got to know him, so we became friends.
Yeah.
And here's a quick story. So before we played the Sixers, my rookie year, he would call me up at the hotel, the Sheraton Hotel in Philadelphia. Marcus, what are you doing? I'm just chilling, man. Well, let's go have lunch. Okay. He come by and pick me up in his big 500 SEL Benz, take me to Bookbinders, a real nice seafood place in Philadelphia. So we sit there, we eat. He talked to me about the game, about business, about life. And then when we get ready to leave, I get a piece of cheesecake. Eat my cheesecake. Marcus, you need another piece of cheesecake? No, Doc, I'm fine. Bring Marcus another piece of cheesecake. Yeah, I gave him that night.
He's trying to butter you up.
Yeah, you like that cheesecake? I love it, Doc. It's really good. I gotta go. Bring Marcus a 3rd piece of cheesecake. Doc, I can't eat anymore, man. We got a game like that. You can have it. Go ahead. I finally realized what he was doing. He was fattening me up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Yeah. And I stopped going to lunch with him. But that's my dude.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But I love to hear those stories of just the old gamesmanship, the competitiveness that, quite frankly, we wish was more in the league today. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead. I was gonna go real quick. You read in the '83 playoffs, you guys swept the Boston Celtics. I believe was that the year after they won the championship.
The Celtics,
when you guys swept them. Then you guys...
I want to. Moses Malone won. 82. Who won it in 82? That's a good question. That's a good. I don't think Larry Bird won it until after we swept him. But that's something that.
But in a series, in a series like that, were you a big shit talker during games and stuff like that? Not really.
Well, so what's really interesting is that in that series, Don Nelson, our coach, who's a former Celtic.
Oh wow. Yeah, Don.
Yeah, he played. Huh?
Donnie Nelson that worked for
Don, his dad. Don.
Okay.
So Don was my coach, and he played played with Bill Russell and all those championship teams. Played with for Tom Heinsohn after Red Auerbach retired from coaching and won a championship in the early '70s with the Celtics. So he's a big Celtic guy.
Yeah,
and so everything we did was kind of based on how the Celtics did things. Our defensive stuff, our defensive calls. Our assistant coach, John Killalay, was a Celtic assistant for like 7 or 8 years. He was Nelly's guy, set up our defense. But the point is that so when we played against Boston in that series, Nelly was really hard on us about not talking trash, not gloating, not talking about how we were keeping Boston, at bay. And so we went to Boston. We beat them the first 2 games of Boston. And Nelly would say, "Look, when the press comes in, make sure that you act respectful. Don't act like
no
that we got
board material.
You don't wake them up. Don't wake them up. No bulletin board material." So we were like, "Yeah, we're just happy to be. They're a great team, and we're just happy to be up 2-0 going back home to Milwaukee." But myself and Sidney Moncrief and Junior Bridgman, we all felt like we were the better team. And as we felt against the Sixers the year we lost to them, that next series when Moses was there, and that was the thing that was unfair. They were already a great team. Then they go out and get Moses Malone, add to Dr. J and Bobby Jones and Maurice Cheeks and Andrew Toney, and they just take it to a whole nother level. So but we were the only team to beat them in the playoffs that year. They beat everybody, but we lost 4 games to 1. I think game 1 we lost in overtime. Game 2 was a 2 or 3 point game. We had a chance to win probably 2 or 3 games, but we couldn't have won the series because they were so much better.
Yeah.
Wow. We gotta get to it. Where did the acting role in White Men Can't Jump? Where did that come from? That's gotta be one of the funniest sports cameos in film history.
Yeah. So I saw you were a theater arts major, right, at UCLA?
Yeah, theater arts major at UCLA. Okay. And middle school at Audubon, I did plays, musical Productions, Bye Bye Birdie, and I was Combat Birdie, the lead in that. I was a lead in Little Abner, the lead in that, and so acting has always been a big part of what I love to do. Theater arts major at UCLA, did some plays and a lot of things at UCLA. But for White Men Can't Jump, there was a guy named Silk Cozart who was in the movie. He played Robert, I believe. He was one of the guys that they tried to hustle, or he hustled Woody and Wesley. But anyway, Silk was a good friend with the writer-director Ron Shelton, who played a lot of basketball. Ron Shelton did at the Hollywood YMCA. So that's where all the actors that would play. Denzel would be up there playing. Denzel and my son Chris almost got into a fight when Chris was 14 years old. And Chris was playing a real physical, like Denzel, young fella, I'll whip young ass. I was like, hey, Denzel. I was there like, no, hold it, man. That's my son, man. Ain't gonna be none of that. Oh, okay, Mark, my bad. Okay, but just tell him to back off. But they laugh about it today. But anyway, so Ron Shelton was the director. White Men Can't Jump was coming out. They were looking for ball players who could act. And so they had this role of this player. Now this story that you would always hear as you came into the NBA, this story about this player who, Reggie Harding, out of Detroit, who went into a liquor store in Detroit with a mask on at 7 feet tall and a gun. And held up the liquor store, and the guy was like, Reggie, come on, man. I know that's you, man. Take that, man. And Reggie's like, this ain't me. This ain't me. This ain't me. So they'd always tell you that story about Reggie Harding. So when I read this in the script, I knew exactly what they were talking about. I saw that he had to pull a knife on Wesley Snipes' character. And so I turned it into a razor blade because I saw a great movie, JD's Revenge, and this guy did a thing with the razor blade that I really love. So my father was a barber, so I got his razor blade. I worked on kind of opening up the razor with one hand, and it's just I really practiced before the audition. Yeah, before the audition, I got really into it. So I went into the audition. Got to the scene with the razor blade with Wesley Snipes, pulled the razor out with one hand, snapped it open, came at him in the audition scene, chased him around. And so the director, Ron Shelton, was like, okay, great. You got the part. Next time, leave that fucking razor at home. You got to kill somebody. I said, we got props for that. I was like, okay. But the character, Reggie Harding, I started to do more research on him about 5 or 6 years ago, and actually wrote a screenplay that I would love to get to Anthony Davis. But Reggie Harding, man, was one of the greatest he was one of the first guys to go straight from high school to the pros in 1963, 64. Look him up out of Detroit. They won 3 city championships in a row. He was a 7-footer, but he was crazy. He was a heroin addict, all that kind of stuff. Back in Detroit. But when he got on the floor his first time against Wilt Chamberlain, he was talking shit to Wilt Chamberlain. They call you the big man. You ain't the big man. You just a chump. I'm the real big man. This is the kind of stuff. I'm reading newspaper articles. This kind of stuff he's saying to these guys. And so I was able to interview Dave Bing and all these great old-time legends that actually played with him. That gave me a really good picture of the kind of guy he was. Great guy, but just had some issues. He wasn't as we say in recovery, he wasn't a bad guy that needed to get good. He was a sick guy that needed to get well. And his addiction cost him. Look at his numbers. His rookie year, he averaged, I think, 10 points, 10 rebounds a game. As a rookie, straight out of high school, 19 years old. Red Auerbach, the great coach of the Celtics, said he's going to be one of the top 5 big men in the league over the next 5 or 6 years. But because of his drug addiction, man, it just never panned out for him. He wound up getting shot on those same Detroit streets after spending 2 years in prison. He got shot on those same Detroit streets at 30 years old. So it was a tragic ending to a life that was just kind of all over the place. So anyway, so that character was based on Reggie Harding, and I had a ball doing it. Quick story: Woody Harrelson. We're playing ball, I think at the Hollywood Y, and so it's already been cast. I'm going to be in the movie, so all the actors up there playing against each other, is trying to get in shape. So I call a foul on Woody Harrelson, and so or Woody Harrelson calls a foul or something. I'm like, I said, Woody, that's bullshit, man. That's a bad call. What do you mean? What are you trying to impugn my integrity? You trying to impugn my integrity? I was like, look, man, I went to Crenshaw. I don't know what impugn means, first of all. Number two, it was a bullshit call. He just started laughing, man. And we had so much fun shooting that movie. The cast, the rap party of the cast was at Woody's house in Malibu, and in his backyard there's like a real Indian teepee. You go in there and they got the peace pipe passing the peace pipe around and all that. It's a whole coals burning, the whole thing, man. It was a real crazy experience.
Did you
Crazy.
know your your character in White Man Can't Jump based on Reggie? Did you know guys like that in L.A. like that were kind of like
Yeah, of course we did. Yeah, yeah. Of course we did. And when you're playing and like the Joe Weekly run, shoot, and dunk at Crenshaw back in the early '80s, I mean, it was nothing for the best players. Arkansas Red and Walter Ned, some of these guys, they'd be in the parking lot sipping on E&J brandy before the game. And say, "Come on, young fella, you want to?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm good." But
Yeah.
get your head right, get out here and play.
Yeah.
I get ready to. And Arkansas Red would go out there and drop 40 points, but you could smell the alcohol kind of reeking out of his pores, man. But yeah, it was always guys,
Feel good,
always
play
the
good.
tough guys like that, the crazy guys. But I always got along with guys like that because I don't know, for whatever reason, I never pushed their buttons or talked trash to them, but always was able to become friends with them in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm a big movie guy, so yeah, that's up there definitely for like sports movies for me. White Man Can't Jump was acting. Was that something that, like, I mean, obviously basketball worked out for you plenty well. Was acting something that you kind of saw if basketball didn't work out, or is that why you were a theater arts major, or what kind of inspired you to take on that major in college?
I started doing it at Audubon Junior High School as a seventh grader because I was tall. The drama teacher was a great drama teacher. Put me in the upperclassmen's play, the pajama game, so I could be in the chorus and pick up the leading lady and put her on my shoulders. And me and another guy. So he needed a tall guy. So I fell in love with it, and we rehearsed. Every single day, and just really prepared. The orchestra played the music, the choir did the background vocals. It was a whole production. The community would come out and watch the play on like a Friday and Saturday night, and maybe a Sunday matinee. It'd be the theater would be packed. So I just kind of fell in love with it at that point. And then when I was able to take advanced drama and become the lead in a couple of plays, that was fantastic. Got to UCLA. I had my own campus TV show at UCLA on 3 days a week, and I would interview different guests, comics and people locally from Westwood or whatever, sports figures and local sports figures. And so all that became just part of it. I took a great theater arts class with Mady Norman, who was one of the first Black actresses in Hollywood. She taught the class. And there was a guy named Jamal Fanaka who wrote the movie Penitentiary with Leon Isaac. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's an old school movie from the 70s. You get a chance. He was too sweet.
Put on your letterbox, Max. Put on your letterbox.
Yeah, I got to throw in the letterbox.
Penitentiary. But Jamal Fanaka, he actually did another movie called Emma May that he wrote a part for me my senior year. We were in the theater arts department together, but Emma May, because of my preparation for the draft and the NBA, I didn't get a chance to do it. But so it was always something that it's a creative release. Even right now, I mean, it's funny. I'm working on this a scene from Othello. Just for the hell of it, just to keep my acting chops sharp. So I got a whole thing I do every day to work and prepare. Not planning on doing it anywhere, but at home and in my mind. But it just kind of keeps me sharp. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do.
Have you watched that Broadway show, Othello?
I haven't seen Denzel. Somebody told me
Denzel's doing it.
Yeah. So I got to check that out. I've never been a big fan of Shakespeare, you know what I mean? Just the language and everything.
Yeah, no, me too. I love it too.
And that's why I chose it, because the language and in acting, the one thing that we always talk about is that the words really don't matter. It's the emotions that you're able to come across on stage or on camera or whatever it is. And so Othello and Shakespeare, because the words and the way the cadence of the words and the speeches are so different than what we're used to. It's a really, really, really interesting challenge to kind of piece this together.
I watched a couple Charles Burnett movies this year. I know he was at UCLA prior to, he's a little older than you. I think he was born in the 40s, like 44.
Okay.
Did you ever cross paths with him while he was at UCLA at all?
No. What did he do? Sleep with Anger? What was his big
Killer of Sheep, Annihilation of a Fish. Those are the two that I've seen from him.
It's funny because he got a lot of notoriety. Was it Danny Glover? I think I don't know. Maybe you look at Danny Glover. I think The Sleep with Anger was. I'm not sure if that was one of his films.
Oh yeah, yep, that was one of them.
Yeah. So I'm familiar, and does great work. And but no, he was before me at UCLA. Right. But we all kind of have a lot of reverence for the great artists and the great filmmakers who came through there, especially African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's just crazy. Like just thinking of seeing or hearing about the dedication you have, even with acting. I mean, it just you find this in life. Like, I mean, you would have been successful in anything you kind of would have chose to do. You see the dedication with acting. You just had basketball was that medium. So that's just really awesome to see. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. No, it's you need an outlet. You need to have something that you're passionate about. And so writing. Now, I've done several screenplays.
Yeah.
And so I talked about the one called Hard. It's by Reggie Harding, the original Piston bad boy, Reggie Harding. And again, that's something I'm trying to get to Anthony Davis. But man, it's real gritty. It's real, and I'd spent like 3 years researching, talking to a whole bunch of different people that crossed paths with him, reading every single newspaper article I could come across during that time period. And he's one of those guys that, he was put it for adoption, had foster care, mistreated. Parents banished him to work in a cherry farm the week after he won a city championship in high school in Detroit. So he just one of them kind of dudes.
Yeah.
And so, but the other thing I wrote that I'm hoping to do something with, and it's getting pretty close. Couple of things. One is called Burning for Justice. It's about integrating the fire department in the 1950s. This group of black men, the Stentorians. And so we were able to, my writing partner and I, interview 5 or 6 of them while they were living. They all have since passed away. We've been working on this about 10 years. And so that's an amazing story about the racism and everything going on in the 50s in the LA Fire Department. So that's a great story. And then the final thing is The Last All-American. I was the last All-American that that played for John Wooden at UCLA. Wow. And so I got a screenplay, The Last All-American. I was a kid from the 2-parent home who he thought would be just no trouble at all. And I turned out to be one of the biggest hell raisers that he hooking up with con men. Me and my roommate Richard Washington moved in with a con man in Fox Hills, got evicted, and all kind of crazy stuff happened at UCLA. So that's another screenplay that we're working on right now that I think is going to be really, really entertaining. So
all three of those sound awesome. I'll watch those for sure. Hard is a great title too. That's
Hard. Yeah.
Are you wanting Anthony Davis to play Reggie Harding?
Yeah, because they catch the Africans because Reggie was 7 feet tall.
Yes,
had a little bit of a different look.
Yeah.
If you hit him on Wikipedia, you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see why. And AD, and because AD, I watched him on his prank show.
Yes.
And he likes, he gets into it. I think he would really embrace the whole idea of being an actor and fulfilling a role in the character and all that. So
awesome. Yeah. You know what? When we post this up, whatever reach we have, we're gonna tag Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
and we're gonna try to
get him in there.
Give
5 minutes. Yeah.
Tell me, get with me, definitely.
Absolutely. One last thing. We can wrap up soon here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. We appreciate having you. I do want to get to, are you familiar with the video game NBA 2K?
Only because I've had people, I think I was a 94, 95 or 96, maybe peeked out at.
Yeah.
I've had people.
You're in the 90s. You're in the 90s for sure.
Yeah. And so that's, and sometimes I'll meet a kid or something and he won't know who I am initially, and then his older brother or somebody will say, that's the guy on the NBA 2K. He's like the 95. He got a 95. Oh yeah. I play with you all the time.
He has a pink diamond card. A pink,
do I? Just say, I didn't know all that.
Yeah. I'm sure you got very expensive cards on 2K.
That's funny, man. So that's so whatever gets you a little legitimacy is all good. But before we go, I also want to talk about
yes,
Crenshaw Chronicles.
Yeah. Crenshaw Chronicles. So now this is a book that I wrote. Spent better part of 2 years researching this, and I was able to talk with and chronicle some of the legends from Crenshaw. And Crenshaw is one of the most iconic high schools in the nation. Absolutely. And just built in 1968. But it's had so many different, between Darryl Strawberry and Wendell Tyler, who was an NFL Super Bowl champion, Ice-T, the guy that played Bubba in Forrest Gump, Michael T. Williamson, he's a Crenshaw grad. So I was able to get a hold of all these people, man, over the last couple of years, and just put that. There's a musical group, female group called Climax. The men all pause, meet me in the ladies' room. Yeah, they're from Crenshaw. Kevin Ollie, who coached and played at UConn, coached at UConn. Crenshaw grad. I mean, it's just so many different Stevie Thompson and from the Syracuse days and the greatness of Stevie Thompson. But it's just so many iconic graduates from this iconic high school that I was able to put together this book, and I'm in the final stages. This is kind of the author's copy, not for sale. So I'm kind of going through the final editing stage right now. But I think it's going to be really entertaining. One quick story. There were two brothers that played at Crenshaw, Sidney and Kerry Justin. Both got cut from the varsity football team. Both played B football. The older brother, Sidney, only played one down of B football because they just wouldn't put him on the field. He went on to Southwest Junior College, kept working, got a scholarship to Long Beach State, wound up playing for the Rams in the NFL. Okay. His younger brother, Kerry, same situation, played for the B team. He was better, played for the B team. They're out of Van Ness Park. They would play against some of the most hardened criminals in the city at Van Ness Park, these two brothers would. But Kerry played at East LA, went out to East LA just on in the middle part of the football season when his buddy says, come out and try out for the team. Oh, man, and, you know, he thought he was a pimp at Pup and Taco on Slauson. He was pimping, working at Pup and Taco. Yeah. But he went out to East LA, locked down every single wide receiver that they put him on in practice, made that team, played behind two former NFL players, David Gray and another guy. I'll think of his name in a second. But anyway, he wound up getting a scholarship from East LA to Oregon State, and then Oregon State with the Seattle Seahawks, and still holds records for the Seattle Seahawks. These guys have never played a down of varsity football at Crenshaw. Wow. Coupled with the fact that they both are entertainers. Older brother Sidney replaced Howard Hewitt in Shalimar. You can look that up. Sidney Justin replaced Howard Hewitt in Shalimar. Kerry, music background. And so now they tour as they do like the remake of the Miracles, Smokey Robinson and Miracles. They tour the country doing the miracle stuff. So this is just kind of the talent level that was at the school that people should be made aware of. And their stories are just fascinating in terms of resilience and getting knocked down and getting back up and going through things in life that we all go through, disappointments and struggles and challenges, and just the strength to persevere. I love that word. Perseverance is something that's big in my life. So anyway, Crenshaw Chronicles, man, it'll be out probably another month or two.
Okay.
The book
hold it up, and where can you get it? Hold it up and where can
it'll be available on Amazon, the Crenshaw Chronicles. Okay. You can find out the CrenshawChronicles.com. We'll give you all the information that you need to keep track of kind of when it's going to be released and all that. But man, there's a lot of great, inspiring stories that I think, and I shared it with the superintendent of schools in LA. And I mentioned that, we need to get a copy of this here at Crenshaw. I met him at Crenshaw High School. He's like, we need to get that in every school in Los Angeles. So we're going to talk about that once it's completed. Maxine Waters did the forward. Me and her son, Ed Waters, were teammates at Crenshaw. He's the head coach at Crenshaw now. So she wrote me a great forward. And so anyway, so it's just a great accumulation of stories and anecdotes and all that good stuff that I think will be really inspiring. So that's a big special project of mine.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't wait to get that. We definitely will. Might have to be one of our first props up on the pod. Have that book.
We'll get it up there.
That'd be great.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Marcus Johnson, NBA legend. Thank you so much. It means the world. We love having you. You are welcome on this show anytime. You got my number. We locked in. So appreciate you.
Yeah, all right, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the platform. Appreciate you.
Yo, what's popping, y'all? We are at the part of the show where we guess that jumper, man. Yes, we're trying to figure out the jumpers. Everyone in our TikTok comments, they apparently know it already before we're even looking at it. So let's get into it. B, what are we thinking here? We got some size up, a little jab step. Who is this?
I don't think it's. Well, every time I say it, every time I say I don't think it's this guy, but I got a pretty good guess. It ends up being that guy. Let's get started with, is that Aaron Gordon?
Aaron Gordon. Wow, being red.
I'll say every time I kind of don't think it's that guy, right? Right.
It ends up being that guy.
Yeah,
Running back.
he got that jumper he worked on. Like, okay, do I have enough space? Okay, I got enough space. Let me take it.
Tough one too on Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, midi too. Yeah, you don't really see him take a ton of middies. Okay, then oh my god, you're going with these
Lordy.
catches now. Like,
oh lordy, oh lordy, who is that?
Dude, that was almost like some like.
I want to say they're Caucasian.
I kind of want to say that Euro is like Euro. I was gonna say like kind of want to say that like a Euro, like a European.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Wait, that's Jokic? I think that's Nikola.
Yeah,
yeah, that's Jokic.
But 2 for 2.
Yeah, that's
two
Jokic.
Nuggets back to back.
Ain't too many dudes doing a Larry Bird no more with the over the head, like you know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah. And then back to back, I don't think we ever had back to back teammates. That's crazy.
No, first time.
Aaron Gordon and then Jokic.
Let's see if we get another Nuggets player.
Let's see.
That kind of look like
that is. I'm on a roll. I'm feeling hot.
Oh shit, let's go B.
Feeling hot. That's Devin Vassell.
Oh, Devin Vassell. Oh, our first miss of the night. All right, we're in the West though. We're in the West. We're just not in the Southwest.
Give me Cason Wallace.
Cason Wallace. Okay, we're in the Northwest.
Couple green pop up. I was like, so we're in Northwest. What is that? Is that position that we got, or is that no? That's
it's
American.
It's American. American in the Northwest. So we're looking at Portland, Denver, Utah. Oh my God! Sorry if y'all. Yeah, these damn motorcycle guys.
Who was what team? Let's say I'll say OKC. So it's Denver, Utah, Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Denver,
Utah, Portland.
Is it another Nugget? I don't see it. Portland. Give me Drew Holiday.
Drew. No, not Trailblazers.
That was it. Jazz.
Should we just guess it? Utah. Wow.
Jazz. And then who else? Is it two more?
Utah, Denver. Who else are we missing in the Northwest?
Utah, Denver. Minnesota.
Oh, there we go.
Is that?
That's not Jaden McDaniels.
It's a nice jumper. It's a nice little. Is it guard? Where's the position? Do we have the position?
Not yet. It's not point guard shooting guard. So it's like maybe like a small forward.
Yeah. It is not. It's not a Trailblazer. No. Utah, Denver.
So Thunder and Trailblazers are out. So we got Utah, Denver, and Mini. Utah, Denver, Mini.
I know, like Aaron Gordon again.
I know, right? Yeah, because it looks like that's what I was thinking first. It looked like Aaron Gordon. Oh my God, it was just with the long hair.
That's cheating. That's crazy. And we can't guess. We can't keep guessing the same guy. Come on now.
Want to run it one more?
Let's do it.
So we get someone different.
Oh, it's Jokic.
Yes.
Like,
what? Will Barton.
Who is that?
Isn't that Carter Bryant? Nah, it looks too short. This guy looks like a
kinda go Rui.
Yeah, Hachimura. Okay, we're in the West, but not the Pacific.
We're in the West.
So we're looking at
not Japanese. That narrows it.
Yeah. Could be a Spur, could be a Mav, could be a Rocket.
Give me Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
Oh, it is. It's Kevin Durant.
Okay, we're in the Southwest.
So we're at Dallas.
Dallas, Spurs, Memphis, New Orleans.
And no position is locked in?
No position is locked.
It's not a forward.
Not a forward or a small forward. Maybe a 1 or 2.
We're
Pelicans.
Spurs, Pelicans, Memphis.
Yep.
That's kind of nasty.
Or Mavericks.
Or the Mavericks. Interesting. Give me Brandon Williams.
Is he spelled with the I? No. Okay, Brandon. So not the Mavericks, but we're point guard. He might be a combo guard.
Yeah. Okay. So now we are.
Oh,
Spurs.
Yeah. Spurs, Grizzlies, Spurs, and Pelicans.
Okay. And more of a guard. Okay.
More of a combo guard.
Grizzlies, Spurs, Pelicans.
Should I do Carter Bryant?
Yeah. Well, he'd probably be more. He probably would be in that forward.
Right. He's like 3-4.
Yeah. Unless go Cedric Coward on the Grizzlies. Rookie, all-team rookie this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a guy we don't really see too often.
No. But once you get the teams down in the position, right?
Kind of narrows it down.
I mean, Jordan
classic just for the hell of it, because we had the legend on today.
Let's go. Yeah. We had an NBA great on today.
Man,
the
an
great
all-timer.
Marcus Johnson, LA legend, basketball legend. Let's go with a classic. Guess a jumper. This could be.
Is this my guy? Is this my guy? Oh, Spud Webb ain't even in here.
You going
That's
Spud?
crazy. Nah, Spud Webb's not even in the database. That's crazy.
Damn.
This looks like he's got a flat top.
Give me
Is that not Kenny Smith?
You gonna go Kenny? Kenny the Jet?
Let's see Kenny the Jet. Oh, Kenny the Jet's not even here either.
The Kenneth Faried is. Interesting.
Or maybe is it Ken Smith now? Smith Jr. Nah.
Is Brandon Jennings in there?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Debut was more recent than 09. Retired more recent than 18.
So he's been around.
So combo guard.
Combo.
In the East.
In the East.
This is also where they were drafted. So
got it.
Drafted in the East.
After 08.
Yep, after 09. Made their debut.
In the East. Give me Norris Cole.
Oh, I love that. Oh, we got the debut, right?
Okay. He came in the league when?
2011.
Okay. 2011. So this is like after AD's draft in the East. 2011.
Not in the Central or Southeast, so we're in the Atlantic. So we're talking Boston, Nets.
Give me Iman Shumpert.
Oh, I love that. New York. That lines up. Bang. See, I saw the flat top.
Yeah. Flat top. That should have been the instant. That should have been the.
Yeah, see, that's why I thought it was Spud Webb.
Wow. Yeah. Good call. Wow.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let me stop the 8. There you go.
4 Quarters Pod. Let us know if you got any of those guest jump shots there. Guess the jumper. Special episode today. Have Marcus Johnson on. Go in the comments. You got any questions? If you got that 2K card, that Diamond Amethyst 97 Marcus Johnson card, let them know. Man, that was really cool.
Yeah, big thank you to Marcus, man. That was awesome.
Big shout.
Talk a little hoops. Talk a little movies. Talk a little White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, right. Got in our bag, our podcast bag today.
Yeah.
Man, Threads, TikTok, Instagram. You guys know where to find us. 4 Quarters Pod, 4 Quarters Podcast. That's 4QTRS. Just keep rocking with us. Keep dropping those comments. We're putting the reels up, the shorts up, and we want to hear from you guys.
Yes, sir.
Four Quarters Pop, signing out.
Peace.
Welcome to the Four Quarters Podcast. So you're not just watching from the sidelines, get in the game. Like the videos, comment your takes, share with your squad.
More importantly, subscribe to the Four Quarters Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, and X for all the latest basketball and sports news.